Hi, NECA.
Hi.
Sorry about that. Hi, NECA. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. So, two quick questions for you. First, there are a lot of kids back to school already or going back to school soon. Any school memories, back to school memories you could share?
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, first week back was always exciting. I know everyone talks about this, especially on social media. Picking out your outfits is always super fun, and then also hearing about what people did over the summer. I have a lot of good back to school memories because I went to school with Chine most of the time. So we always had a lot of great memories. Actually, starting school off in volleyball season. So I'd have to say that that's great memories that we always like to hold on to.
All right, thank you so much. And then another question, there's all this talk about, great players and goats, but what do you think, what skills define a great player?
I think for me, anyone can have a skill set on the court, but I think one of the best qualities of a great player is someone who is a leader, and not necessarily a leader that's been bestowed the title, but someone who exhibits that as being a great teammate, being a player with integrity, and then also being a great competitor.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Chris Camello, Nightcast Media.
Hey, Shanae, thank you for taking the time this morning.
I'm NECA.
Oh, I'm Jesus. I'm sorry. Hey, NECA, my apologies. Sorry about that. Uh, NECA, I just wanted to ask you about, Derek has obviously made it very public about the officiating and whatnot. And obviously, I'm not trying to get you fined or anything like that, but I'm just curious, like when you are on the court, are you having conversations with officials, just about certain things, or are you just kind of just trying to play through it as best you can?
I'm answering this understanding that I could be fined, and I do have conversations with officials in in-game action. But quite frankly, since I came back, all I have to say is I really don't feel like I'm safe on the court or protected, and I just do what I can to make sure that that isn't in my mind. But it's also not a reason why any one game ends up the way it does. I think for me, in my experience, the last 5 games, it hasn't been ideal. But I'm a competitor, and I try my best to really just focus on the game and be the best that I can for my teammates. So I lean heavily into that, and I appreciate people advocating for me and my safety.
Erica Ayala, Locked On Women's Basketball.
Hi, NECA. I wanted to go off of, I believe it was what Pepper was asking you about what it makes to be a GOAT and whatnot. And I was curious if it had come up or if it has come to your attention that for this W25 list, you are, I believe, the only player to
Uh-oh.
this award, being a WNBA All-Star. Hello?
You cut out. You said I'm the
Oh,
only
okay.
player, and then it cut out. Yeah.
Naturally. You're the only player to meet all 7 criteria for the W25 list, which includes being an all-star, having a championship, and even having a community cares award. When you look at a list of 72 athletes that have had such an impact on this league, what does it mean to you to be in that company?
I mean, it's an honor. I've said this from the beginning. I play for the intangibles, and I think a lot of those intangibles it allows me to be who I am on the court and off the court. I know that I play with amazing, amazing women in this league, and I don't know. I don't know if I could be the only person on that list. It's an interesting thing to hear, and I really appreciate the love and support that I get from my fellow WNBA players. But goats come in different shapes and sizes, and all I can say is that I'm humbled that I'm in some type of conversation in that regard. But I also do know that there are some phenomenal women that play in this league and that have played in this league that contribute to how I model myself as a player and a teammate.
Bailey Caldwell with The Lead.
Hey, Nega, hope you're well. Thanks for taking time with us today.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask, since you've returned, you've spoken extensively about how your time away shaped your view of the game and kind of altered it a bit. How did that affect maybe how you looked at last game, now being a great showing for the team as a whole, and how you have been a leader to prepare for today's game?
We can't identify ourselves only with the results of that last game. Of course, we can use it to build upon what we want to do today and thereon. But tying ourselves, solely to the results is not something that's going to get us where we want to go. Reflection is necessary, of course. Discernment is necessary. Accountability is necessary. But we have to decide, what can we do better? What can I do better as a player, as an individual? How can we be better as a team? And making sure that no matter the result, how we do what we do is what's important.
Last one for NECA this morning, Rashawn Haylock with Spectrum.
Hey, NECA, good morning.
Morning.
In what ways, I guess, since coming back, in what ways have you felt the most comfortable on the floor? And are there some things that maybe you're kind of still working through in terms of whether it be a timing or rhythm thing or whatnot?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of getting my bounce back under me. I felt pretty comfortable in most situations. I think it's all a mental game, and I'm sure that anyone who's gone through some type of injury that's kind of put them out for so long, it's always the mentality of like avoiding getting hurt, and you don't want to have that mentality. And I worked very hard on that, especially in the 2 weeks when we were training. So continuing to allow that to kind of disintegrate, in my mind is really what I'm focusing most on. And I don't want to ever be thinking about my capabilities while I'm on the court. I just want it to be instinctual. And I think each day is a little better, which is something that I love and I really lean on to.
And a follow-up, if I may, tonight, what's going to be key, going up against, a very tough Connecticut team?
This is the number one defensive team in the league. And so I think us making very conscious decisions on offense is going to be important. I really hang our hats on our defense most times. And I think that the concepts that Fish has us in, as long as everyone's on the same page, it works for us. And I think we have a focus today where we really want to be on the same page on defense, because right now, Connecticut, they are very cognizant and mature in how they score. And we have to be able to meet that with, a defense that is sound. And then, of course, consequently, making sure that we turn stops into points, which I think has been kind of something we've been working on this whole season.
Thank you, NECA.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.